Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It is Monday, November 17th, and we are here trying to help you make better and sometimes just less bad financial decisions. And the way we do that is we actually ask you to do a tiny bit of work. Go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Write us a note. If you don't think you want to join us live, give us a lot of detail. And one piece of information that we always ask about that I think sometimes people forget to put in their question, if it's some sort of planning question, don't forget to tell us how much money you're spending every month. That's a biggie. Only you can tell us that one. So give us a lot of detail if you don't want to come on live with us. If you do want to come on live, you can go a little bit lighter on the detail. Just give us the general sense of what's going on. And you check the box, and Mark does everything else because he's just that way. He's the best. All right. Now, today we are joined by Eric in New Jersey, the Garden State. Eric, of course, being very close friends with Bruce Springsteen and able to communicate everything important about the Garden State. So how are you, Eric?
I am very well, Jill. Thank you for having me today.
Of course. What's going on? How can we help you?
So for me, I have a couple of questions, and they're a little disparate. The first is I want to complete a home renovation. That renovation is going to cost between $240,000 and $300,000.
Let's agree that it's going to cost $300,000. Right?
Yes.
I mean, come on, right? It's
right.
Like anyone who's ever done a project knows whatever your range is, go high. Okay. Renovation of $300,000. Now, just give us a little bit more detail about the house. So what's the house worth right now?
So the house is worth $850,000 and it's a condominium.
Oh, okay. And is there a mortgage on it?
There isn't.
Oh,
on this house. Yes.
Okay. Oh, I see. Multiple houses. So this is, we're going to spend $300 on our $850,000 condo. That's the number one first part of your question. What's number two?
So number two is that I am eligible for a pension from an institution that I worked at about 15 years ago. No, actually 20 years ago. And it's with the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation. And so my question is about when I should take it. Mm-hmm. If I take it at I'm 65 years old. And if I take it at 66, it's worth $1,356. Mm-hmm. But if I wait until I'm 76, it's worth $4,592 a month.
Wait, but it's with pension benefit because the company was underfunded and it was taken over?
Yes, it was a hospital and it went out of business. Yeah.
Okay, but you're guaranteed that if you wait until 76, you get this extra $3,000 a month.
Yes, and it grows. It grows starting this year, 10.7%, and then 0.5% each year thereafter.
Wow. So everyone listening, Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation means that the company, the hospital, the institution cannot pay its obligations. And this other organization kind of comes in, and sometimes, I mean, it's so weird because this is an old employer for you, but sometimes this really does mean that people get much less money than they had been promised. And in Eric's case, it probably is a lower amount at age 66, but if you defer those 10 years, there's a big difference. So, okay, so I got the pension numbers. Okay, what's next on our hit list of Eric's financial questions?
So I want to be able to do the renovations and all of that without needing to go back to work.
All right. And yes. You will not, damn it. Eric, you're retired already, right? So this is you're going to tell us a little bit of a rundown on like what you've saved, please?
Absolutely. So my pre-tax retirement 403B is $2.15 million.
Woo, baby. Okay.
I have Roth assets of $830.
Okay, Roth, great.
I have an HSA of $110.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I
have a inherited IRA of $93.
When did you inherit that? Are you subject to getting it out within 10 years?
Yes, I
Okay.
inherited it in 2024.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
I have a brokerage account of 275 and in cash I have 70.
I didn't ask you an important question. Are you
Yes.
married, partnered, single? Where are you in the spectrum of relationship?
In the spectrum, I'm single.
Okay. Do you have other property?
Yes, I do. I have an inherited property that is worth 550,000,
Okay.
and but there's a mortgage of
Hmm.
100,000.
Is that being rented now, or you're going to sell it, or what's happening?
I have a family member living in it, and they pay rent, and
Hmm.
it's about 2,000 a month.
2000 after the expenses, or does the 2000 cover the mortgage, the property taxes, and the homeowners?
No, no, the 2,000 is just the contribution, and so I apply it toward the mortgage. The mortgage with taxes is 2,300 a month.
All right. So you're a little bit out of pocket on this, but somebody's living there. It's being taken care of. You're doing a good
Correct.
thing. And what do you think's going to happen? Do you want that family member to be able to buy that house from you, or what do you think?
I mean, if it's possible, but I'd rather sort of keep it in the family.
Hmm.
My mother passed away 2 years ago, and I'm sorry, last year, and I decided, along with my brothers, and I have two siblings, that we would keep it for at least 2 years and then make a decision about what we're going to do. But it's a convenient place for us since that's where we grew up.
Oh,
And it's good to go back. And I have nieces and nephews there and great
okay.
nieces and nephews as well.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that sounds like and maybe as they kind of like are a little more secure in their lives, they can start paying more like market-based rent to cover. So at least you're not out of pocket on it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Eric, what is the source of your income right now?
So my income, I receive a monthly payment of after tax. It's about $7,800
Wow.
from my pre-tax retirement.
Okay.
So yeah,
Meaning you've set that up, or did you buy an annuity, or what is that just you're
no,
taking that yourself?
correct.
Okay.
I set it up so that they send me a check every month.
Okay.
Pre-tax, it's about 10,500.
Okay. And this covers your need?
Yes, my need is about 8,000 a month.
Okay.
Yeah, so that along with the
Mm-hmm.
rent that I receive sort of covers my monthly net.
Okay, that's great. And so what about Social Security? When do you think you'll claim?
I was thinking about waiting until I'm 70 to
Mm.
claim that and try to take out some of the pre-tax retirement so that my RMDs aren't as great as they could be when I'm 75. At 67, I would receive a monthly payment of $3,700 rounded, and
Hmm.
at 70, about 4,600.
Wow. I mean, you're in such great shape. I love this game plan, by the way. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think it's very smart. I get it. You have to like pay the taxes, right? I mean, there's no way around it. You're going to have to pay the taxes one way or the other. But at this point, you're sort of sitting there in the 24-ish, 22, 24-ish tax bracket, right? The question, I guess, is when we think about doing this renovation, like give me the time horizon where the money would have to, like, let's say you had plans in place, you want to do the work. First of all, are you living in a big, huge project that's going to cost $300,000? You have to move into the inherited house.
I'm going to move into the inherited house.
Okay. So you're going to move out. And so this would
Yes.
be for next year, right?
Yes.
Are you thinking that maybe you would take some brokerage, or are you going to pull it all out from the retirement account? Like, where do you think you want to kind of take the money from?
I thought about this for a couple of years. So last year, I took out probably $150,000 to sort of, I thought I'd take out $100,000 a year and then bank the cash. But I took some of that and I put it into the brokerage account. So that 100,000 that I took out last year is in the brokerage. And then my thinking was, how much can I take out this year?
Yeah.
Maybe another 100,000.
Yes.
And then split it between this year and next year. So
Correct.
that I
That's
have
that's what I'm
reserve
thinking.
of what I need.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That we want to spread it out, that, we kind of get this done in the next couple of months. Then you have your 300 grand that's sitting there. And, obviously you have to spend the money. So you don't want to have it like invested in high risk stuff. If the money in the brokerage account is like all stocks, like I hit it big. I did my brokerage. But like now we got to settle down. Right. And don't forget, you also have, we also have that inherited IRA. We got to get that money out before you start claiming Social Security. We want that money out also because there's a clock on that one, right? So I think that's a great game plan. And I don't think you have to go back to work. Mark, does Eric have to go back to work? He does not want to go back to work.
Almost certainly no. I mean, the other question, I'm not so crazy about taking the money out of the retirement account, then putting it in a brokerage. I feel like you're kind of paying tax twice that way. I would maybe just let it sit in cash. But the other thing is the timing of the pension, right?
Yeah.
How long does he wait?
So the pension, is there any risk? I mean, once the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation comes into the picture, there's no further risk. The risk has already happened, right? That the company or the hospital went broke. Is that right?
That's my thought. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I'd wait if I could. And you have longevity? Do your parents both live long lives?
Yes. Yeah. My mother passed away at 88. Yeah. And my father at 78. So, and I'm in fairly good health. So I think, I'll just sort of see what happens.
I'll tell you what I would say. I would wait and see. I would also be like, maybe when you're 70, right, and you're claiming Social Security, maybe that's the moment where you're like, hey, what's my pension right now? Let's say it's, we know it's more than 1,300. We know it's not as much as 4,500. But, if it were 3,500 and you had 4,600 from your Social Security and life was good, you might like pull the trigger and just do it and make your cash flow much easier on yourself. That could be a possibility as well. But like, I think that we'll have more information at that time. Waiting is always great. But also, if you're just like, because you have so much money, because you're in such good shape, if you just say, I really would like the convenience of having some cash flow right now, that's fine too. I mean, one of the other things that you can start to do is, again, once you get to be 70 and a half, if you're charitable at all, you could use qualified charitable distributions and start whittling down that pre-tax money. So there are a lot of things that are available to you. You don't have to go back to work. You can do the renovation. And I think the pension, I would certainly wait till 70 and kind of see where things stand and see if you're comfortable. And I feel like this could be almost like an emotional decision where you could say, it would make me feel better to not have to take, these monthly distributions from the retirement account. Instead, putting money from that retirement account and sending it off to charity. So all of these things can, I think, play a role, but you're in such good shape. I mean, it's really amazing. What are you doing with it feels like you've got kind of a rich life. Are you doing something fun as you've in retirement? I feel like we're kind of often confronted with people who are like, I just don't know what to do with myself. How are you doing with that?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm
really
still trying to figure out on a day-to-day basis exactly what I'm going to do in the future. I think about traveling. I collect art. I think about visiting museums and sort of enriching my eye and continue to collect art. And I think about volunteering as well. So I'm trying to figure that out right now.
All right. Well, when did you actually retire?
So I didn't actually retire. I was sort of riffed out of a job 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was ripped out of a job. I was decided to live out the severance. And then my mother took ill and she was diagnosed with a terminal disease. And then I stayed with her for the 6 months that she lived and decided that I wouldn't go back to work immediately. So I just sort of eased my way into this retirement because I never expected to retire. I expected to work as long as my mother worked. And
of course.
She was 83, so I didn't expect it. So But it was a blessing in the sense that I could spend full time with her after.
Oh, that's good.
Reduction in force. So.
Yeah, I never feel like happy when it's someone else's decision. On the other hand, you're right. What a gift. So, Eric, I think you're in really great shape. You have your estate documents done yourself. Like, you have a lot of money. Someone's going to certainly be very happy that you've taken care of this. So, have you?
Yes. So I've been listening to you, and I've engaged an attorney, a trusted estates attorney.
Great.
So we're in the middle of getting those documents done.
Great. Perfect. Yeah. All right, Eric from New Jersey, we encourage you to continue your journey and figure out how you're going to be a docent or something fabulous, and keep collecting art. Just stay engaged. I think that's the thing we're learning, that as we talk to people about like their glide path and what their next chapter is, it is about, being around enough people so that you feel engaged, and you sound like a very curious man. So I think that you will probably continue to be so. So I think that'll serve you well. So thank you so much for giving us a holler. And if you have been downsized, rift, etc., it wasn't your choice, but maybe something good will come of it. And maybe if you've got a chunk of money that you've set aside, you don't have to go back to work to do a renovation. If you have any questions about something going on in your own life, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note. If you would like to come on the air live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. Hey, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter, which comes out on Fridays and also entitles you to get our blog. So it's just all so fabulous. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. And of course, we ask that you do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.